All right, all you devils out there, happy Friday. Sam here with you. It's now the 8th. God, look at that, 12 noon on the dot. I rarely get it that tight. Okay, so what are we doing here? Looking at Bitcoin, of course. Okay, this will probably be a short one here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Bitcoin because there's not much more to add. We are literally, as you can see the channel that I put on here, and I'm using the a little throw over or throw under here. So right smack dab in the middle, you see the center line. Where do we sit? Stuck in the middle. All right, so we'll get that off of there. You know, it's interesting. So some of my, what do I want to call them? More experienced members here that have been with us for some time that are very skilled Elliottians. I'm getting some people bailing from this count. I literally get DMs that sound like this. I've abandoned that count. Now, okay, I mean, everybody has a prerogative to do that. The question is more, why? Why would if you see a triangle here, it's hard not to see it. But a triangle, of course, you know, we're calling two additional legs here that you know, we're kind of filling in the blanks here in your mind's eye. There is no requirement here that the market complete this as a triangle. It's a question of what's most likely. And then on top of that, and this is literally the calling card of a triangle. When you get so fucking annoyed with the lack of progress in the market going sideways, 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 it literally reinforces in my mind that we're sitting in a triangle. The more people abandon it, the more I lean into it. Now, call me stubborn, call me stupid, call me what you like. But there is no reason to have taken this count off of your primary. I know, fuck. I mean, it can resolve lots of different ways here. But me looking at this, and again, I can't imagine I need to go back through why we think there's a triangle here. But nothing has happened here to make you go, oh, well, it's not a triangle. With that we can say clearly. The longer it goes, the higher the probability that we're in a triangle. Now, it's interesting. It's interesting how it's shaping out. What seems the least likely, not impossible, nothing's impossible. Market can do anything. This kind of price action here does not seem as though we've got a low in and now we're about to take off, right? So the odds that the 4 is in here, while not impossible, continue to remain less probable in my mind, right? So, you know, I'm going to give you my primary count and then the rationale behind it. And if there's an alternate that I think needs serious consideration, well, of course, I'd be quick to show that for members. Now, of course, not everybody's going to have the same count, right? It's you love it, you hate it in Elliott Wave, right? In that it can be interpreted multiple ways. And when you have a cluster like this where everybody's doing their best. Okay, where's the 5s? Where are the 3s? I mean, this section over here can be interpreted at least 3 ways. I can just look at it and tell you there's 3 ways that can be interpreted, right, just looking at it. Right now, this is, you know, again, I know I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but this 5 is what people want to lean into. Again, that's a little bit open to interpretation, but if you're just looking at it at a distance, that's the most probable. So how can we get it a 5? Well, I mean, you could put the 3 here and do it that way. Then you could go A, B, C. You could just as easily put it here and go A, B, C. Does it matter here, right? Well, it only matters in the context of turning this into a 3 rather than a 5. Right? If it's going to stay a triangle, it needs to be a 3. Can we interpret it as a 3 without some sort of hideous force fit? Well, this is not ideal, right, for a 3, but it's certainly valid. This, right, can be interpreted multiple ways. Again, some very, very competent Elliottians have the 4 in, and this is 1, 2. Right? That's not what I see. I think we just continue to grind until people are so fucking fed up with it that they don't look at it anymore. Well, of course, they're going to look at Bitcoin. But they start to lose enthusiasm, right? It becomes, and that's just about the time you'll see this thing start to drift. Oh, maybe there's a little push up. Oh, you know, up. Bitcoin's over. This up, you know, it'll be the talking heads. Oh, Bitcoin. So we're just about the time when you least expect it, that's when you'll see it. Now, one of the things here that we certainly can note here is from swing high to swing low, well, there's a 50. If the reaction at the 50 surprises you, that would be, I'd like to have that conversation, right? I mean, we know that's an algorithm firing there. We don't have to wonder about that. I think we're past that point. So we know what happened there. Why does it run out of steam there? Well, we could, you can always hindsight talk yourself into a whole lot of reasons. But at the end of the day, the very first thing that I would encourage you to check is where's the algo, right? What did it do last? Is there some reason why you would anticipate that you wouldn't see a reaction there? None that I can think of. So, okay, well, let's look at it now. So this is where it's gotten a little bit interesting. And, here I've relabeled here a touch here to accommodate those that can't stand the idea of a truncation there. I'm one of them. Well, with a little bit of a reset here, we can work around it. But I think what's happening here, we're likely to go into complex. Now, and I say that because the most probable location for that D wave relative to the length of B to C is the 618, right? So I keep looking at this going, if it gets up here and we get a pivot, well, a couple of things we know. If it gets up here, an algo is going to fire, right? Now, that doesn't mean it can't get through, but we know there's going to be resistance there. Now, not only do we know there's going to be an algo that's going to fire there, right, a sell-side algo, well, okay, we can look at the gap between those two pivots, right? This 3 pivot and this B pivot, leaving that nice little pocket. If so, price action traders, there you go, right? It's just gorgeous. So you got to look at this and say, well, wait a minute. Now, if this is the C here and we're looking for a series of 3s, well, okay, we're going to dig in there a little bit. I know you can't quite see it very clearly. If we're going to do something as a 3, well, could we be done here? Well, I mean, there's no requirement that we go to the golden zone. It's just the most common location. So then you'd have to be thinking, whoa, could I bring it down here? Well, of course, no reason you couldn't. There's no requirement of the market to do anything, right? No requirement that we go to the golden zone. It would shock me if we didn't. But I say that, right? Of course, the market shocks me every day. There's always surprises in the market. Could that be the D? Well, definitely, right? So how are we going to know? Well, we're not going to know until what will guide our thinking is what comes off of this. Right? Are we just doing a little retrace before we go up here? Okay, well, that's going to alter the count a little bit. If we're coming a little bit deeper and then we're going to go up, well, I'll give you what I think is most probable there. If we come down here, we've already had a little swing and retrace, right? So what is it, right? Is it 1, 2, something else, A, B, C? Well, if the one thing that is requirement for this count to hold is that we got to come down here in a 3. And you'd really rather not see something that could be easily relabeled as a 5, right? You would like to see clarity, right? If we're going to come from D to E. Now, E can underthrow, overthrow. It's common. It's more common to underthrow. So if we're coming down here, well, bears will be wetting themselves, right? They're thinking here, we're going after that, right? So all of a sudden, right, amongst some traders whose opinion I respect, I'm seeing bearish. Oh, we're going to break this. I think that's too much to forecast until you see it happen. To all of a sudden say, oh, we're breaking 30, we're going down. Okay, right? Everybody needs to have an opinion, right? And I respect your opinion. But technically, what would you be basing that off of? Well, it's certainly this zone has been tested. We got to test it again, maybe. Let's dig into that count and see the potential there. Here's the little. This was always kind of a possibility here. I go back and forth with Sensei Tudum. He really likes the truncation, right? I'm looking at that going that 5 down is hard not to label it as a 5, but so we can work around it. So if it's a little 3, 4, 5, okay, it's not the craziest thing, right? Okay, I get you, right? 4 to the 2, I'm with you. Yeah, but the market's not going to give you perfect impulse structure all the time, right? So can that accommodate a 5? Yeah, I can. All right, then so it's a matter of where you're going to compromise. You're going to compromise on the A wave here, or you're going to compromise on the 5 coming down. This is more clear to me as a 5. So I'm more inclined to compromise here, and I know I've kind of waffled back and forth. But I don't think we need to. I don't think it matters, right? Really, right? If this is A, B, C, D, E, and we have correctly identified the B here, well, then this A can be a 5. This certainly plays as a 3. Now we go into this triangle. That's a little tricky. I get it, right? It's tricky in there. But we sure shoot out of here with something impulsive. So the implication is that something has completed here. Well, if it's A, B, C, well, let's just measure it up. How do we look here? So if this is, if this is the A here, I think we did this last week. If this is the B, now look where the 100 is. What's the most common location for A to B? Right, length of the A projected from the B. Well, okay, so we're not going to get there. Likely, if this is the pivot, and we're not doing something like 3, 4 up again, right, which would be, it's possible. If we're not doing that, what's the alternate here? Well, we need to do it as a 3. So the scenario here is that this is, oh shit, how are we doing this? It would be A, B, C. So we'd be coming here. This would be W. We'd be working on the X, and then we'd look for another 3 to come up here to get the D at the golden zone, where we could lean into that 100 that is splitting the golden zone. Now, see, confluence like that, you got to pay attention to, right? It's not that the market is guaranteed to go that. Well, here's one thing I can tell you. I don't know. We'd have to put a time on it, but at some point, this high is going to look like, depending on your time horizon, that high is going to look like the 2017 high, in my view, right? Like, oh, that was great. Well, remember back, wasn't that quaint when Bitcoin was up at 68? Wasn't that fun back then? My guess is that's going to look a year from now, 2 years, oh shit, it could be 3 years from now. At some point, we're going to look back at that high. Remember that silly little high we put back in 21? Wasn't that cute? Now look at us now. My opinion, right? I'm a bull, right? I'm a long-term bull. There is almost nothing that could take me off of the bullish camp, right? Other than a complete collapse or power grid goes out. I mean, some of the disaster scenarios, right, where price of Bitcoin may not be the only thing or the most important thing we're worried about. But as I look at this, I'm a bull until I'm proven wrong, and you're going to have to get down below $3,000 to prove me wrong. So you know where my bias is, right? When I know I've been accused of being a perma bull, I get it, right? So during all of this trading here, where's all the bullish calls? Well, if I had something I liked enough here out at this time frame, right? There's lots of trading on the lower time frames, but I stay longer term out here. I'm dying to tell you go. Which is nothing more than my view that it's go. I'm dying to tell you to buy it down here and say, okay, the 4 is likely in, right? We never know. Likely in. Well, as we just sit here looking at this, right? So if this is swing and this is the 50 and that algo is going to take it and run with it, where's the target, right? You could see that happening, right? You can kind of logically go, oh, okay, I could see what would happen there, right? They'll come down here, run all the stops, freak everybody out, get all of retail shorting it, and then turn right back around and rip it. Right? I can easily see how that could happen, right? It's logical. So let's not ignore the fact there's an algo with a target down here at 27. Let's not. Bullish is one thing, stupid is another. Let's not be stupid about being bullish. Okay, so I got an algo that's got a clear target. I am not confused at all about that. Okay, well let's just think that through, right? So I've got a pivot here. I've got pivots here. This would be the pivot that would be relative. All right. Well, first up, bears, you're going to have to break this side. Now, I'm just stacking these in slowly so you see the confluence here. Right, so we'll do it this way. Right, so here's where that algo is going to fire. Right, nothing says that will hold. Where's the target for that algo? Now it's literally on top of the 100. That's confluence not to be ignored. Not to be ignored. So right now, if this is going to play this way, and we're going to work a 3 out of this, and we've got the A, B, C. I know that's tricky, right? If you're brand new to Elliott Wave, that's going to probably blow your head off, right? I mean, that's not easy to nail down. Nonetheless, but all that said, all we're doing is putting together a 3, right? Now there's complexity to it, but it's at the end of the day, you could simplify the thing all the way down. It's just a big 3. That's what we're anticipating here. So if this is coming down here, right, we've got an algo fight, right? We got 1 at the 50, 1 not yet to the 50. So when people are telling me, okay, well, we're going much lower, right? This count has, whatever, I've lost interest in this count, right? That's what you're saying, because what you wouldn't be saying is, well, that count's been invalidated. No, I'm talking generally here. I don't mean anyone specifically. I just mean kind of the malaise of Bitcoin. This thing is boring me to tears, right? If that's popping into your head, first thing I think is triangle. Now, of course, I could be wrong. I'm wrong often, all right? As I often tell you, the point of all of this is not to be right. The point is to be profitable, right? You can be wrong and profitable. You can be right and lose money, right? Let's not lose track of what the point is, our purpose here. Why do I go through all of this? Because I'm looking for the slightest edge. And I mean the slightest, because that's all you can hope for. Just the slightest edge. Does this make sense? Can I see can I solve the puzzle? Right? I got a certain set of tools I can use. Can I solve the puzzle here? Well, that's the attraction to Elliott, right? Can you use the pieces and solve the puzzle? Right? Some people are like, what a fucking giant waste of time. Why would you do that? I'm telling you right now why I do it. Because I'm looking for the slightest edge. Because that's all you get in the markets. The slightest of edges. And then we got to add some experience, right? Because just as we were talking about this last week, when the market was here, and I was saying, oh, guys, that's really, really not a good place to be a buyer. That's not because of anything technical. That's because I've seen this happen a gazillion times. I've been the guy buying that many, many times. Once again, right? So if you bought it there, right, are you still in it? Remember how everybody was so fired up. Oh, well, let me break out. I'm going to continue to just remind you every time it's the worst place to enter. Not only that, you're entering just ahead of a 50, right? The dominant 50. That just comes from experience, right? So I can't give you experience. I can just teach you based on my experience, and then maybe you say, well, maybe there's something to that. Maybe I don't want to buy it there. Let's see if it'll retest, right? Of course, some are going to go. Some are just going to rip, and you're going to go, that mother told me not to buy. Over time, you will, if you stay in the markets more than 5 years and haven't abandoned it and said, well, nobody can do that, and off to a crypto fund or a mutual fund, whatever. If you're not trading anymore, let me rephrase that. If you're still trading 5 years from now, I'd be willing to bet you a full Bitcoin that you don't buy it there anymore, right? If you're still trading 5 years from now. Again, just giving you my experience. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm brilliant. I'm just telling you, 1, I've done it a lot of times. 2, I had very good people teach me. And 3, I do this for a living. Okay, let me move on here. Fib fight here, right? So do we go WXY? Well, let's see what we get out of this right now. That's just a 3. My first thought is that's ABC, right? WXY. I don't know. Well, let's see what we get out of this. It could be 1, 2. Oh, it's not shit when I'm on 8 hour. It's not. Oh, let's try a 2. It's not a great looking impulse, right? It looks like an ABC. This 1, 2 could be 3, 4. We got another down here. Could be ABC, right? We're just looking for something down here. Here's the range. What do we got? 39 to 38, right? We got about $1,000 range here. Come on, right? So we could probably look at it this way. All right, were there buyers here, right? Buying into all that mess? Probably. Oh, it's going to go. It's going to go. It's going to go. Let's see. We're on log scale here. Well, first thing I would just try and measure here, what's the swing parity looking like? We're through the, excuse me, through the 100. 1618. When we start to come down a little bit more, looks like there's probably, oh, it's kind of fat for median lines here. Oh, God damn it, come here. Trading view. I like it, but I hate it too. Okay, let's go original. All right, so we got a retrace here. I think not too hard to figure out what happened here, right? Consolidation here. Probably an order block in there. Down we go. It swings up. Well, we could look at it this way. I'll take this off since if you were in this off the short, your 80% is burned, so we can take that off. Retrace. Equal highs. Oh, you got a little micro head and shoulders. You want to think of it that way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Right? You can play it in a number of different ways. But at the end of the day, what do we come away with? Terrible place to enter long. Great place to short. What makes that hard to short, right? We're going straight up, right? So your emotions say, oh, man, I can't sell it here, right? We're about to break. The hardest trades usually, pardon me, the best trades usually the hardest to take. Because what that means, see, and I talk about this a lot. I'm trying to get you guys to think this way. If I'm entering here, where's my stop? I've said it this way before. You want to enter as close to where you're wrong as you possibly can. So when the market is here and you're thinking about shorting it, you're thinking, no, come on, man. It's going to blow right through that. Of course they're going to get the stop. Of course they're going to get the stop. Well, what makes this trade all the better is the fact that they can't get the stop. That's what, so as soon as that starts to break, you got it, all right? Retrace, oh shit, they're going to get me. Nope, all they did here was just get any latecomers on board, right? So likely limit orders here that didn't get filled. They come back here, fill them, down we go, right? It's probably an order block. And so it was just a little, let's test. Here's what's happening here. Is it safe? Is it safe? Or is a bunch of demand? There was a bunch of buy volume going to come in here and blow this thing up. Is it safe? Yeah, it's safe. Where are we headed to? Well, right now it's just a 3. It could be turning into this could be your start of it, which could be 1, 2, 3. This looks very 4-ish, right? Come down for a 5. Okay, A. Fuck, can we get it in there? We'll probably work this as a flat, actually. 3, 3, 5, right? So A, B, C. Okay. How about that? A, B, C. Is there some reason why I couldn't do that? No, of course not. I don't have this labeled here, but you get the drift, right? So A, B, right? So it's just a flat. A, B, C, A, B, C. Oh, fuck. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 3, 5, right? Coming right down into a flat. So now we wait for the B, right? Now we don't know, right? I don't have this yet, but right now sure looks like that's coming, right? We're about to challenge these highs. Next up the 38, then the 50. Are we coming this low? It still comes off here because the anticipation is not that we'd be finished here, we'd just be doing the X. All right, so do you see what this would set up? Golden zone to golden zone. How many times have we seen the market do that? Sorry, guys. Oh, shit. I guess have we covered everything here? I don't know if there's much more to say here, right? This is a lot of just hurry up and wait. Okay, so if this is going to be the A, can I get the B and come down here for the C, right? If I get the C, I think I've got the C here. I think I've got the X. Now I'm looking for the Y to give me the D, right? The whole thing. Right now we're looking for, what are we looking for here, right? If we get this, we're looking for another 3 to get there. Okay, all right, I think we've covered this to death. Let's pop over to Ethereum real quick here because this is a perfect example of it. Now, also, again, some of my best traders, right, that have been with us for a time have abandoned this account. One just sent me an account just before we got here, right? It's a very, very skilled Elliottician, loves the puzzle, and he's abandoned this account, which surprises me a little bit. But now, look in here. Okay, so I just told you. Again, this is I'm not making this shit up. Okay, so from the length of the B to the C, what's the most common location for the D? Golden zone, right? We just looked at this, right? That's why we're anticipating that it gets up here. Well, what did we just do there? So why would this account be abandoned when we just did exactly what you'd be anticipating that it would do? Why would you then abandon the triangle here? Now again, I'm talking generally, not to anyone specifically. Although I disagree with his count, he's an excellent Elliottician. So the alternate here that we have to consider is that this went 3, 4, 5. That's not unreasonable. Except I don't abandon this account until it forces me to. Why do I need to do that? 5. Okay, so we're going to put the 5 up here, and okay, how could we do it? There's an ABC. Okay, W, X, Y. Okay, that implies that we're going to come down here. Well, so do you see what the implication is? So this would be the 5. This would be W, X, right to the golden zone. Here's the target, X, Y. Is that all we're going to do, or we got more legs in it? Right? Here's the geometry. Oh shit! Right? You'd have a golden corner. Would we not? We do it this way. Now, if this is 3, 4, 5, what's that not likely to be? Here, not likely to be the 2, right? 2 would be much lower, right? But based on pattern history, it would be surprising that we're going to put in the 2 here at the liquidity here that was for the same, just as Bitcoin, right? So tested. Now, do they need to test it again? Maybe, right? We're not going to do it here. Maybe we do it out here, right? Need to test it again? Could be. Would that blow up the triangle? I would kind of fuck with it. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get that far. Although I suppose we could have an ascending, or pardon me, descending, right? So the tops are coming down, we're flat on the bottom. We have something like that, but you're accommodating your bias, right? So until this is invalidated, I don't see any reason to come off of that. I'm looking for a reason. I don't see it, right? If anything, I lean into it all the more here, because it did exactly where you get my point. Okay, so I think we got that covered. We'll see, right, if Bitcoin, who's leading, right? Looks like ETH has led, right, because you got the bigger kick here. All right, so maybe there's a tell in Ethereum as to what's coming, right, in Bitcoin. All right, so how am I doing? 27. Where is it? Okay, so over here I had just a little variety here. Also suggested to me today, and an interesting count, right? This is Zilliqa, which has huge potential. Apparently a few others think so as well, as you see this massive pump structure happening here. That's the daily. That's a pretty good rip. So I went through this count here just so we can't look at that triangle. I can't talk about that triangle anymore. It's boring me to death, right? Again, all the more why I think it's a triangle. So I brought up Zilliqa here, which is, had this big pump here and showing lots of potential, and just say, okay, what's going on in this count? Well, when you first bring it up, it's tempting to look at this and think, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, nope. No, that's not it, right? So I kind of stress this because I want you to be thinking, right? We want these impulses to all be self-contained by Elliott channeling, if you can, right? And without force fitting, I want this to be all self-contained, one unit right there. Now the extension's in the 1. Well, shit, right? I mean, take it out of take it out of log scale, right? These are all, they're massive, right? But in log scale, we can see 3 shorter than 1, right? Log scale. But it plays, right? Perfectly valid count, right? All the subdivision, classic 4 here, get 5. This is actually the higher pivot. So you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a diag to finish it. But now look at this, right? I cannot make this shit up, guys. Look what we do here. Right? So I'm simplifying here. Well, you could do this as an ABC. It almost wouldn't matter. But I do think if you dig into the substructure here, it's WXY. Because the finish here, much like all of crypto, that I'm convinced is a 3. But look what we do here. I can't make this up, right? Look, so not only do we come back, right? So this is the kiss goodbye, right? So you break the channel, you come back, test it from the other side. Where do we test that? Golden zone. Where does it go? Where's the target? What happens once we get to the target? Can't make it up, right? All I can do is just keep showing it to you until you say, hey, whoa. Because you see, you got to remember to pull the sell side, right? So you'd been easy to look at that and say, oh, okay, here, this would have been easy to think, oh, I was kind of waiting for the 50. I didn't get there. You got to look on the other side. There's always an algo on the other side. On every move. They never turn it off. It's always in play, both sides. So every time you pull a long, you got to pull the short. You got to know where it is, or you're trading blind. Oh man, I was down here waiting for that 50 because I knew, boy, look at all this setup down here. Well, I had this great structure here. I had all this here. Wait a minute. All right. Why would it not get there? What kept it from getting there? Boom. Now, hitting an algo target is not a buy signal, but you sure can understand what happened there. Now, what's causing that? Right? Remember, I had this comment amongst my futures day traders today. Yeah, and you've heard me say this before. This algo is not why the market moves. It's how it moves. It's how every market moves, right? If you don't have this on every single chart you pull up, you are walking through a minefield with blinders on. You have to know where it is, right? Or you'll do stupid shit like, I guess I've made a pretty good point on that. Okay, so we hit the target here. Now coming up, right, you had to pay attention to this side, right? You had to pay attention here. Look what happens when we first get there, right? Just because the algo's there doesn't mean it can't break, right? Obviously, right? So you see the reaction. You can see it fire. It fires at the 65. Reaction. They're through, right? One side's always going to break, right? We go sideways forever, right? So you got the sell side now broken, right? So as we sit here now, okay, right? We didn't make the 50, right? There's no obligation for the market to make the 50, even though you had, oh God, the structure was so good. Look how sexy this was down here. Oh man, just not much of a start there. Right, talk about, oh shit, you probably have to do this. Oh shit, how are we going to do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be my guess here. Just first glance looking at that. I'm not even really digging in. It doesn't matter, right? It's impulsive. Right, is that in dispute? Right, I don't think that would be in dispute, right? That's an impulsive move there. All right, so, okay. Basic Elliott right out of your textbook, 5 up. What do I get? Oh, a little complexity here, but you could simplify it. I got 3 down, 5 and 3. And then what are we expecting next? Well, just because it didn't make the 50 on this one, I sure as hell I'm still going to look for the 50 here. Let's put our reg up there. Right, we've seen it pop, not make the 50, so I'm not going to sit here and go, well, wait a minute. Well, let's see what's there. Well, right off the bat, you can see this is kind of interesting, right? We just got a little bit of structure there. Blew right through it, right? Prior resistance. It's there, right? So I'm not going to ignore it. Shit, I mean, you can draw it across, right? That was clearly an important level to the market. It looks much like what we were looking at in Bitcoin. We're right smack dab in the middle. Important. Resistance. Now it's going to be the support. Remains to be seen, but it sure would be interesting to come in right there at the 50, wouldn't it? What kind of targets we got up here? Right, if this is 1, 2, okay, let's get it together, right? This is 3, 4, or pardon me, 5. All right, so this is 1, 2. Here's the goal for 3, 4. Can we get it up there? Here's what we're talking about here. It's underway. 1, 2, 3. There's the 618. Oh, let's just assume we do something like that. Now, can we get all the way up here to that? That's a big push for the 5, right? So maybe we're going to get a little more in the 3. Maybe we don't. Again, we're forecasting without having it. Maybe we get a sideways. Maybe we get a triangle here. There's no way to know what we're going to get here, but that's a big push to get up to that. If we're just going to do traditional 1618 here, maybe we do more than that. This wouldn't be surprising either, right? So that's why you don't take these off, right? So that's why when it's breaks here, don't lose track of it, right? Anticipate that. It's it's to the tick, right? You gotta. Right? If I didn't think it would help you, right, I wouldn't encourage you to continue to do this, right? There's a methodology. What you hopefully you notice is that when we do this, we do it the same way every time. Every time. That's the power of it. Right? As soon as you go, oh, fuck, that stuff doesn't work. Let's try something else, right? You're lost. You're lost. Oh, I'm not saying there's not value in enhancing what you're doing or looking for ways to augment what you're already doing, but if you're just jumping from one, that Elliott, I don't know, it's too subjective, right? And then you're off to something else. That's a recipe for, well, that's not a recipe for success over long term, right? So let's leave it at that. Okay, so here we got this nice little rip here. Well, of course, we'd like to see that. Let's go to the 4, come down in a 3. It's like if that's going to be my 5 up there. Oh, there, now I can see a little bit better. Now we open it up again. So clearly, there's the 4. Not hard to spot. Oh, shit. Well, that's a little ugly for the 1. Oh, shit, you might have to do it that way. A, B, C, to get your 3 into that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's quite a rip. Not happening in a vacuum, right? So what's happening now, right? So the people that caught this for whatever reason, right? The temptation, right, to take profit as it starts to come down, that's trailing stops are getting hit. Profit is being taken. Where is it likely to defend, right? If we're looking for a 2, now we kind of come back into, all right, well, that's what's here. Oh, that's not hard. That's not hard, right? So then the question becomes, okay, what do I have coming into this? Because if it just keeps doing this, that's not a buy, right? We want to see some signs of momentum breaking, right? So I don't know if we're done here. That could be 4, 5, and then we got to see this. I want to come into it, and I want to come into it where I can see, oh, is there some divergence there? Is there a little divergence here? What's the swing structure? Maybe I can get the sell side algo to participate here. Maybe I can do it this way. Oh, look where the now I don't have this, I don't have this, right? But that's the kind of thing I need to see. And then when it gets there, I'm not sitting there with a limit order. Show me the reaction. Right? It's like back here. Well, see, did you have a little chance there? It was like, oh, God, it just hit that algo target. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of scared to buy that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It finished in a 5. Boy, that makes sense. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1. Right? So what's all the more bullish? They can't. Right? Is there any question that there would be stops there? They can't get them. Cover. Right? Nobody on the other side. So that's what we're waiting for. Let's see if we can come down here and get into that too. Right? Or maybe we'll come back here and look at this next week, see how it did. Right? And again, don't just sit there and buy it blindly. You got to see the reaction. And of course, the safest thing is let it come down, get a reaction. Oh, I got a reaction. Okay, now I can buy. Now, if it retraces a little bit, now look at my risk reward. Right? It seems so silly, right? It seems like, okay, duh, come on, man. You've shown me that 9 million times, yet people don't do it, right? So I keep saying, you don't just buy it just because it's there, right? Okay, you might have a little advantage. You got the first algo target, then you got the second algo target at the golden zone. So you don't just buy it blindly here. Oh, shit, blew right through the 50. Oh, let's see what happens at the golden zone. Rolled over. Oh, let's see what happens at 786, right? So it's one of these, right? Or something other than what appears to be going on here is going on, right? Maybe this is some pump wick for, who knows, right? We start coming down here hard, and we do something V-shaped. Well, we got a complete... Something else is going on. Also, note here that this is all self-contained, right? One big impulse straight up. So I'd like to see, I don't want this to come down like this. I want to see this take a little more time and push me out here. Then I like it, right? Why? Because it has the right look. You hear me say this all the time. We have so many things to trade in crypto. Why would you buy something doing that? Why would you buy this? Does that have the right look? Well, I hit the algo, I hit the support here, so I took a swing. Okay, where's your stop? Well, it better be tight, right? Remember, we want to enter as close to where we're wrong as we can. You're going to put your stop down here? Okay, maybe, right? It's cheap enough. You might be able to get away with that, right? So you could, but see, if it's coming down here, you can't buy it just because it's at a 50 or a golden zone. I mean, people do, right? That's what the algo, it's funny, I'm contradicting myself. And I hear myself doing it, right? The algo doesn't give a shit what came here, right? We do. We care. Because remember what we're after? It's just the slightest of edges, right? And the market doesn't give them up easily. I want the slightest edge. Oh, can I add pattern to price? Can I add support and resistance to pattern and price? Can I add geometry to pattern, price, support and resistance? How about oscillators? What are my oscillators doing? Where's the volume profile? I'm trying to put together a case here. Literally, think of it this way, right? If you're taking a trade, it would be like going into court and I'm going to prove the case here. So here's all the evidence. So what evidence do you have, sir? Well, I was at the 50. Well, I'm sorry, sir. That's not enough for a conviction. I mean, being silly, but that's kind of the idea, right? I want overwhelming evidence that 12 out of 12 jurors are going to find that to be a buy. That's what we want because the market, it gives reluctantly. It sets up. Rarely does it make it easy for you. Rarely. Was this easy? Fuck. I'm doing the best I can to figure out what the hell that is. Is that easy? No, that's not easy. It didn't give it to me in a nice, 535. Oh, how nice. Is this easy down here? No, that's not nice. But can I trade that? Because I got a hard pivot here. And they couldn't get it. That's telling me something. Because every pivot is a target, right? We've talked about this a lot lately. Every pivot is a target. Why? Liquidity, right? Liquidity is right there. And if they can't go get that, I promise you bears want that liquidity. Or bulls, right? Because what they'll do with what bulls will do is they'll do this, they'll run the liquidity and then they'll do that, right? They did it here. You can see where they did it right there. Oh, bears, right? So here's, God damn, this makes me laugh. What are bears doing here? Oh, breakout. There we go, right? Do they know the 50's there? I guarantee. Well, if they do and they did that, then, well, they're just new to trading. Oh, there it is. Okay, right. Okay, it's just a little retrace. They'll get it this time. I'm going to add. Yeah, I'm going to add to my short here because, they didn't get that stop, so I'm going to add here. Boom. I don't know that I can put a better example in your face right there than why that's a horrible, the worst possible place to sell it. That's a pretty good example. All right, guys, I'm rambling, I guess. All right, 42 minutes, and here I get, it never fails. Whenever I start, I'm thinking, this is going to be a short one. I get off on some sort of a tear. All right, so there you go. We got a few of them covered. All right, well, so we do, as I remind you guys, we're working on some newer stuff here. I got bogged down a little bit, but it's coming, so bear with us. We'll get at it eventually. All right, with that, I wish you guys a happy weekend, a good, what do I want to say? Happy Friday, good weekend, and you know the usual drill, right? Our links are underneath. If you'd like to join us, you can, right? You can join us for free. Come on in, try the white belt, see how you do. If you like it, go after blue, right? You get through blue, a lot of this is going to start to make sense to you. All right, guys, have a good weekend, and I'll catch you on Monday for our next live stream. Okay, until then, take it easy.